Hey there, YEGnation. We're here in Ward 4 with Justin Draper. It's nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you as well. Thank you so much for having me.
So he's running to represent you guys on October 16th, 2017. He's running for Ward 4 Councillor. So Justin, tell us a little bit about yourself and why you decided to run.
Sure. So my name is Justin Draper. I'm running for City Council right here in Ward 4. I've actually lived in Ward 4 for almost my whole life. We're in a really special spot for me right now. This is the Miller Park in the Miller community. And when my family and I first moved to Edmonton, this is the community we lived in, and there was no park here. So we got together with the McLeod Community League. We got together with the the rest of our community. We actually fundraised for this park. We went door to door when I was still nice and little, and it really taught me the importance of being engaged with your community, being active in your community, and what can actually be done when people come together, when people say, this is a priority, this is something we want. We can actually make a difference. So, you asked why I'm getting involved in politics. I really want to make a difference in my community. This is the community I grew up in. This is the community I live in right now. And there's a lot of opportunity in Ward 4, and I want to bring that opportunity to City Council. I want to invest in Ward 4 because the people of Northeast Edmonton are worth investing in.
Yeah, a lot of people have been talking about investing more into the north side. So what are some of your main platform points? What are the things that, we have viewers that may not know what's going on,
Sure.
We have mostly young people who are, trying to learn a little bit about politics.
Right.
So what are the things you think are to listen out for and
Sure.
pay attention to, and what do you want to do to fix those problems that you think are pertinent to Ward 4?
Absolutely. Well, my platform covers a lot of things ranging from, transit development to poverty reduction to infrastructure revitalization, but it's all under this kind of blanket of prioritizing long-term development right here in the Northeast. And that's obviously an issue that very much would be interested to youth, to younger people, because we're growing up in this community. A lot of people are just setting their roots in the Northeast. A lot of people are starting their families. They're starting their jobs right here in the Northeast. And I want to make sure that the communities of the Northeast have the resources they need to support the people that are here today. So things like accessible infrastructure, things like roads, working with other levels of government to make sure we have the proper schools, the proper health centers, the recreation centers to support the people that are here today. But we're also thinking of the needs of the community, not just a year from now, not just 5 years from now, but even longer, 10, 20, 50 years from now. I want to make sure that the Northeast has the resources they need to support our growing population, and that we can be a lively place to live both today and in the future.
Awesome. So I heard you've been campaigning for actually quite some time.
I have.
Do you want to talk about how that journey's been?
Sure. Well, I've actually been actively running for this position for just over a year now, and I've been interested in running and meeting with people in the community for well over 2 or 3 years. I feel it's really important. There are so many people living in the city and so many people living in the Northeast, and all of those people have opinions and interesting topics that they want to have represented in their government. So I really wanted to have a chance to speak with as many people as I can. I wanted to get as many different views as I can, as many different inputs from the community. So I had to start door knocking when there was snow on the ground. I had to start going to community events, just so I could meet as many people as I can. And it's really been an exciting opportunity for me. I'm running because these are the issues I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about municipal politics. I love my community, so I love getting the chance to talk with people about ways to make my community better. So anytime anybody answers the door and they can listen to me, say my platform, and then I can listen to them tell me what they think. This is what I love to do. So I'm having a great time doing it.
Yeah, actually getting people out there and getting people to interact with the municipal government, but the community in general is really important.
Absolutely.
And part of what we are trying to do here at YEGnation is trying to get young people out to vote, trying to get them involved, in their community, and not just in politics, but the entire development of the city.
Absolutely.
So how are you planning to push that forward for young people to try and get them in and involved with this city that we call home?
Sure. I think with youth, we're a very important demographic because we are a demographic that intersects with every other kind of possible problem you can have or any possible opportunity you can have. So, for example, when we look at poverty, poverty is also a youth issue. When we look at, transit development is also a youth issue. So, youth issues are also people issues. And when we bring issues that affect youth but also affect the whole city to City Hall, and when we make sure that youth have a voice at the table, when we make sure that we're thinking about the needs of youth, when we're thinking about these decisions, all of a sudden, youth, they can look at their their policymakers. They can look at the government and say, wow, these people care about what I have to say. And obviously youth, we're going to be stuck with the decisions that are made either way, and we're going to be the ones having to deal with whatever happens. So making sure that youth have a seat at the table, making sure that youth are consulted and that what the impacts are taken into consideration, not just on issues that directly affect youth and young people, such as programming for youth or even schools, education, but on every issue. Youth are going to grow up and live in these communities. They are contributing to their community today. So making sure that every issue has has their impact from youth taken into consideration, making sure that every issue has youth voice at the table.
Awesome. So one last question that I like to ask about Edmonton is that we are very diverse and very culturally diverse, and we have a lot of women running this year. Absolutely. Which we're very happy to hear. So one thing we want to see is that people who are of different ethnic diversity, women, men, everyone in general, we want to get them all included in Edmonton and participating. So what experience do you have there, and how do you plan to get more people of different backgrounds to participate in municipal politics?
Absolutely, I totally agree. I think that our government should look like the people they represent, and Edmonton is a very diverse city. It's one of the youngest cities in Canada, so getting that youth voice represented on council, but making sure gender is present both on council and in the city, making sure that racial and ethnic diversity is represented. So absolutely encouraging people to if maybe council, obviously nomination day is passed, but making sure that leadership positions within the city are available to diverse people, making sure that we are encouraging people to seek those leadership positions and maybe consider seeking council. I am actually a board member of the Somali Canadian Women's and Children's Association. I'm on a working group for Child Friendly Edmonton, and both of those kind of work towards making sure that groups that aren't normally represented in decision making have a voice and have their vision heard. So making sure that whoever gets elected to city council, obviously Ward 4 is a very big place with a lot of community members. The only way to get every single voice represented is to have every single person sitting on council. So whoever gets elected to the position, they need to be able to work at every single door in every single community with every single person. They need to be able to be open to hearing new ideas from different backgrounds. They need to be a person not just bringing their own ideas to City Hall, but sitting down at the community, listening to other ideas, listening to other perspectives, and bringing those perspectives to City Hall. And that's where I really want to shine. I know my community, I know the issues, this is where I grew up, and I want to be the voice both of people who agree with me and people who don't. I want to be the voice of people who have a similar background to me and people who have a totally different background to me, because that's how we make a better city that works for everyone. And we need to have every voice able to be heard at City Hall. We need to have every person, we need to make sure every person has a home in our city.
Cool. Okay, so I guess we'll just start wrapping up. Is there anything last things you'd like to say to the YEGnation out there who's watching our videos?
So I'm having a lot of fun door knocking, listening to people in my community, how to make my platform better, and that's really what I want to do, is have a platform that works for as many people as possible. And I want to be able to argue my platform and have people ask questions. So please visit my website, electjustindraper.com. That has my platform there. It has the list of ideas, of policies that I'm putting forward, and I really want to hear what you have to say. There's a way to contact me there. If you have questions, concerns, if you have ideas, I'm always looking for ways to make my platform better. I'm always looking for ways to make the community better, so I would really love to hear from you.
And that's been Justin Draper, guys. We also want to hear from you guys. Give us a thumbs up if you like what we're doing, comment, subscribe to our YouTube, everything like that. It's been a pleasure meeting you, Justin.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, have a wonderful day, guys. YEGnation out.